98.3 WISS, real news and great conversation in Oshkosh. Here's your Daily News Roundup.
For 98.3 and 96.5 WISS News, I'm Lisa Hale. A commitment to the community has inspired local real estate developer Logan Youngbacher to enter the political arena by running for Oshkosh Common Council.
I believe that Oshkosh deserves leadership that is focused on long-term goals and real results that work and affect people's everyday lives. So my real goal is focusing on and keeping Oshkosh focused on long-term and real practical solutions and not political platitudes, as you might hear otherwise.
Economic development and housing affordability are intertwined, and Youngbacher says he sees them as the primary challenges facing the Oshkosh City government. He added that governmental efficiency, specifically the efficient use of taxpayer dollars, is also a top priority.
I also believe that Oshkosh needs work in an area of building public trust, as always. I think Oshkosh needs to continuously show up and do the work that people have confidence that what the city is doing makes sense, has reasons, works towards our goal and our common vision of what success looks like as a community.
As a real estate developer, Youngbacher says the city needs to make it easier for the development of a wider range of housing options.
Whether it be single-family home, duplex, triplex, apartments, there's a whole continuum of different housing options out there. And as we've seen in the housing study that was completed just a couple of years ago, we're really lacking a lot of different options for people. 8
candidates are running for the 3 at-large Common Council seats. The primary is February 17th. To learn more about Youngbacher and to hear the complete interview, see our story at WISS.FM. Paying sales tax on menstrual products could be a thing of the past if 2 Appleton lawmakers from opposite sides of the political aisle get their way. Representative Lee Snodgrass, a Democrat, and Senator Rachel Cabral Guevara, a Republican, are introducing legislation to eliminate the 5% sales tax on menstrual products. There was a press conference Tuesday with the Women's Fund and the Monthlies Project, where Representative Snodgrass called the tax regressive and discriminatory.
The American Medical Association has deemed menstrual products essential for women's health and has called the tampon tax a regressive penalty that disproportionately burdens those who can least afford it. The sales tax on menstrual products treats individuals differently based solely on their sex.
Snodgrass said 32 other states in the country have already introduced and passed similar legislation. A recent study shows that the Oneida Nation has more than $1 billion impact on our state's economy. Connie Fellman reports.
The independent study was conducted by St. Norbert's College for Business and Economic Analysis. The study shows the tribe is responsible for more than 5,000 jobs and over $300 million in employee compensation in Brown and Outagamie counties. Tribal leaders say the study continues to validate Oneida as an economic driver in the local as well as regional and state economy. Chairman Tahasi Hill says while he's proud of the tribe's economic contributions, there are still needs to be met within the tribe, including affordable housing, addiction, education, and more. I'm Connie Fellman for Civic Media News.
Wisconsin Democrats want to legalize recreational and medical marijuana. The bill introduced Monday would make recreational cannabis legal for adults 21 and older and would legalize medical marijuana for those 18 and older and for minors with parental consent. Representative Ahmad Rivera Wagner of Green Bay, one of the authors, said in a press release, Wisconsin is losing revenue to other states that allow it already. In September, Wisconsin Republicans introduced a bill to legalize medical marijuana. This is the time of year where we gather our W-2s, the 1099s, the retirement statements, all to prepare for our taxes. And the Wisconsin Better Business Bureau is reminding residents to be on the lookout for tax scams with the filing season coming up. According to a press release, one of the most common scams that crops up around this time of year involves scammers posing as IRS officials and trying to trick their potential victims into paying them or sharing personal information. The Better Business Bureau is recommending residents file their taxes early to avoid scams, work with trustworthy tax professionals, and contact the IRS directly if they receive a questionable request. Oshkosh is known for its love of aviation, and you don't have to wait until summer to get your fix. On February 7th, Winter Flight Fest at the EAA Aviation Museum features a ski plane fly-in, weather permitting, and lots of family activities, including simulations of what the Wright brothers' first powered flight was like, and building a helicopter from recycled household materials. Details for the event can be found on the EAA website. I'm Lisa Hale for 98.3 and 96.5 WISS News. For news anytime, visit WISS.FM. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is reminding residents to look out for changes in their SNAP or food share benefits over the coming weeks. Under changes made in the One Big Beautiful Bill signed by President Donald Trump in July, SNAP recipients are required to work, volunteer, or engage in job training for at least 80 hours per month in order to receive their food assistance benefits. DHS officials say the new requirements will be implemented on a rolling basis. Parts of Wisconsin are being left hung out to dry by the Trump administration. Stuart J. Waddles has that story.
Governor Tony Evers is criticizing the Trump administration for again denying federal disaster aid for 6 Wisconsin counties hit hard by storms and flooding last August. The request covered Milwaukee, Waukesha, Door, Grant, Ozaukee, and Washington counties. According to the governor, FEMA gave no reason for turning down the state. Evers says those communities are facing more than $26 million in infrastructure damage and need help rebuilding. I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
In Wisconsin, you need a photo ID to vote. Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska explains how to get yours.
If you need identification to vote in the spring primary, the Wisconsin DMV says you can get one for free if you've never received a form of Wisconsin ID, such as a driver's license. Residents of Wisconsin are required to show an ID in order to vote. There's no separate voter ID needed to cast a ballot, and you also don't need a real ID to vote either. If you're a U.S. citizen and have reached voting age but don't have any form of photo identification, you can apply for an ID with the DMV. You'll need a proof of Wisconsin and U.S. residency or legal residency status, date of birth, name, and identity. The application forms are available on the DMV website. You can also visit your local DMV service center or contact the voter ID hotline at 844-588-1069. Reporting for Civic Media News, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
The 2026 spring primary is February 17th. The spring election is April 7th. Following a string of confirmed measles cases over the last few weeks, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is again encouraging residents to check their MMR vaccination status. Civic Media's James Kelly reports.
Following a string of confirmed measles cases over the last few weeks, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is again encouraging residents to check their MMR vaccination status. There have been 3 confirmed measles cases since January 26th in Waukesha County, Dane County, and Walworth County. All 3 involved individuals who had traveled recently, 2 internationally and 1 domestically. The agency has notified anyone else who may have come into contact with them. Measles is highly contagious and can infect 90% of unvaccinated individuals who come into contact with it. Symptoms like high fevers, conjunctivitis, and a rash with raised bumps can develop within 3 weeks. It can also cause more serious health complications like brain damage. Measles outbreaks have become more common over recent years, both nationally and internationally, as vaccination rates decline. Residents can check their vaccination status online through the DHS Wisconsin Immunization Registry. For Civic Media News, I'm James Kelly.
Wisconsin counties and municipalities are getting a major boost for road work this year. Governor Tony Evers and the State Department of Transportation say that more than $151 million has gone out to help repair and maintain local roads and connecting highways. The money comes from the current state budget, which provides the largest general transportation aid funding in Wisconsin's history. Since 2019, the administration reports more than 9,600 miles of roads and 2,400 bridges have been improved statewide. In total, local governments are expected to receive more than $750 million in transportation aid in 2026. Wisconsin drivers are saying yes, please, to some new license plate designs. Here's Connie Fellman.
Wisconsinites are loving their retro license plates. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says they've issued more than 10,000 of the new blackout and retro yellow license plates in just the first month since they debuted. The blackout plates feature white letters on a black background. The retro plates are a throwback to the 70s when we had yellow, cheese-colored, if you will, license plates with black lettering. Each plate has a one-time $15 issuance fee and a $25 annual fee, and you don't have to wait until it's time to renew your plates to order the new ones. For Civic Media News, I'm Connie Fellman.
The DOT estimates more than 500,000 blackout plates will be on our Wisconsin roads within 3 years. This week is Take a Friend Snowmobiling Week across Wisconsin. Civic Media's Maddie Schaefer has that story.
The DNR is encouraging riders to invite someone new out on the trails to introduce more people to the sport. Officials say riding with a friend isn't just more fun, it's also safer. They're reminding snowmobilers to ride sober, stay on marked trails, slow down, and always check trail conditions before heading out. Anyone born on or after January 1st, 1985 must have a snowmobile safety certificate to legally operate a sled in Wisconsin. The DNR also stresses that ice is never completely safe and recommends wearing proper gear, including a life jacket or float coat when riding over frozen water. For Civic Media News, I'm Maddie Schaefer.
More information on safety classes and trail updates can be found on the DNR Snowmobiling webpage. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. For news anytime, visit our website at civicmedia.us.
The Badgers with the upset. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball. The Wisconsin Badgers went into number 8th ranked Illinois as 10-point underdogs. They battled through overtime and won 92-90 over the Fighting Illini. Head coach Greg Gard.
You guys all saw this. I mean, what heck of a college basketball game between two really, really good teams. You know, Illinois got so many weapons and so many good players and do such a great job of putting you in precarious positions defensively. We executed as well as, we wanted to be able to get 14 offensive rebounds ourselves and hold them to 8.
NBA, the Bucks face the Magic again tonight at the Kia Center in Orlando. Baseball, Brewers fans asking, why would Matt Arnold give up third baseman Caleb Durbin and utility player Andrew Monasterio for two left-handed pitchers?
It's no longer just the 5-man rotation and, every guy's going to give you 200 innings anymore. It's a combination of your entire staff.
That's Brewers general manager Matt Arnold. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Plenty of sunshine today. We're headed to around 33 for a high this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. We'll drop to 13 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with a high in the low to mid-30s. And we're going to keep temperatures going up as we roll into the weekend. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
That's your daily news roundup for 98.3 WISS in Oshkosh. Find more news anytime at WISS.FM. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.